जी करे देखता रहूं।
क्या?
कितना प्यारा तुझे रब ने बनाया, कितना प्यारा तुझे रब ने बनाया। जी कर देखता रहूं, कितना सोना तुझे रब ने बनाया, कितना सोना तुझे रब ने बनाया। जी कर देखता रहूं। रब ने बनाया, जी कर देखता रहूं, कितना सोना तुझे रब ने बनाया। जी कर देखता रहूं। अंबर से आई है परियों की रानी, देख जिसे होती है सबको हैरानी। ओ अंबर से आई है परियों की रानी, देख जिसे होती है सबको हैरानी। सुंदर सा मुखड़ा है फूलों के जैसा, होगा ना दुनिया में कोई ऐसा।
कितना सीधा, कितना सच्चा मेरा राजा, कितना अच्छा। मुझको तो अच्छी लगती है तेरी हर नादानी, मुझको तो रब ने बनाया। जी कर देखता रहूं, कितना सोना तुझे रब ने बनाया। जी कर देखता रहूं। कोयल के जैसी है तेरी ये बोली, मूरत के जैसी है सूरत ये भोली। ओ कोयल के जैसी है तेरी ये बोली, मूरत के जैसी है सूरत ये भोली। बागों में जाओ ना दिल मेरा घबराए, पैरों में कांटा कोई हाय न चुभ जाए। मैं दीवानी हो ना जाऊं, तेरी बातों में खो ना जाऊं। उड़ता बादल बहता पानी बोले रुत मस्तानी, उड़ता बादल बहता पानी बोले रुत मस्तानी।
क्या?
सबसे प्यारा मेरा यारा राजा हिंद
रब ने बनाया, कितना सोना तुझे रब ने बनाया, जी कर देखता रहूं।
तू है पागल, तू है जोकर, तू है दिलबर जानी, सबसे प्यारा मेरा यारा राजा हिंदुस्तानी।
कितना प्यारा तुझे रब ने बनाया, जी कर देखता रहूं। जी करे देखता रहूं।
जोकर।
परदेसी जाना नहीं, परदेसी परदेसी जाना नहीं, मुझे छोड़ के परदेसी मेरे यारा, वादा निभाना तुम याद रखना, कहीं भूल न जाना।
परदेसी परदेसी जाना नहीं, मुझे छोड़ के
हर पल मेरी याद तुम्हें तड़पाएगी, मैं जागूंगा नींद तुम्हें ना आएगी। हर पल मेरी याद तुम्हें तड़पाएगी, मैं जागूंगा नींद तुम्हें ना आएगी। छोड़ के ऐसे हाल में जो तुम जाओगे, सच कहता हूँ जान बहुत पछताओगे।
परदेसी मेरे यारा, मुझे ना रुलाना, तुम याद रखना कहीं भूल न जाना।
परदेसी परदेसी जाना नहीं, परदेसी परदेसी जाना नहीं। मुझे छोड़ के परदेसी मेरे यारा, वादा निभाना, मुझे याद रखना कहीं भूल न जाना।
परदेसी परदेसी जाना नहीं,
मुझे छोड़ के।
If you're over 60 and wakes up in the night and unable to get back to sleep, listen up. Your body is sending you a warning, and most doctors completely ignore this. Here are 9 reasons why, and number 7 could change everything. You go to bed exhausted, your eyes are heavy, your body aches, you finally drift off. And then, 3:17 a.m. Your eyes snap open, the room is dark, the house is silent, but your brain is wide awake. And no matter what you do, toss, turn, check your phone, stare at the ceiling, you cannot go back to sleep. If you're over 60 and this sounds like your life right now, I need you to hear something important. This is not just getting older. There are specific, identifiable reasons this is happening to your body. And once you understand them, you can actually do something about it. Hi, I'm Dr. Sarah, and in the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through 9 medically backed reasons why people over 65 suddenly can't sleep through the night anymore. Some of these will surprise you. One of them, and I'll tell you which one when we get there, is something almost nobody talks about, but it affects millions of older adults every single night. Stay with me. This one is worth watching all the way through. Before we dive in, if you're new here, welcome. This channel is dedicated to helping you understand your body so you can live a longer, healthier, more energized life. Hit that subscribe button right now, because every week, I break down health topics that actually matter for people over 50 and 60. No jargon, no fluff, just real, useful information. Now, let's dive into it. Here's what most people do when they start waking up in the middle of the night. They Google it, they drink warm milk, they try melatonin gummies from the drugstore. Maybe they even mention it to their doctor, who shrugs and says, it's normal at your age, and so they accept it. They adjust their schedule, they start napping during the day, they stop making plans for early mornings. But here's what I want you to understand before we go any further. Chronic sleep disruption is not a minor inconvenience. Research consistently links poor sleep in older adults to increased risk of cognitive decline, heart disease, weakened immunity, depression, and falls. So no, this is not something to simply live with. These are the 9 reasons it's happening. And more importantly, what each one means for you. Reason 1, your body is producing less melatonin. Let's start with the biology, because this is the foundation everything else builds on. Deep inside your brain sits a tiny structure called the pineal gland. Its job is to release melatonin, the hormone that essentially tells your body, it's dark outside, it's time to sleep. When you were younger, that signal was powerful, reliable, consistent. But here's what happens after 60. Your pineal gland begins to shrink, literally. And as it shrinks, it produces significantly less melatonin. This creates a chain reaction. Your brain doesn't get the strong sleep now signal it used to. Falling asleep takes longer. And staying asleep, that becomes even harder, because the melatonin that would normally keep you in a deep sleep stage simply isn't there in sufficient quantities. This is also why so many older adults feel genuinely sleepy at 7 or 8 p.m., but then find themselves wide awake at 2 a.m. The melatonin wave came early and burned out fast. This is biology. It's not weakness. It's not laziness. It's chemistry. Reason 2, nocturia, the bathroom wake-up. Nobody wants to talk about. Let's address the one that nobody puts in the title of their YouTube video, but affects nearly every person over 65. Waking up to use the bathroom. Medically, this is called nocturia, and it's defined as waking up one or more times per night specifically to urinate. Now, you might think, it's just a quick bathroom trip. I fall right back to sleep. But here's what's actually happening in your body. Sleep happens in cycles, roughly 90 minutes each. There are light stages, deep stages, and REM sleep, where your brain does its critical repair and memory consolidation work. Every single time you wake up for the bathroom, you interrupt that cycle. And once your brain crosses a certain threshold of alertness, especially if you turn on a light, check your phone, or start thinking, getting back into deep sleep becomes extremely difficult. The causes of nocturia in older adults are wide-ranging: reduced bladder capacity, overactive bladder, certain medications, heart conditions that cause fluid to pool in the legs during the day and return to circulation at night, and in men, prostate changes. This is not just a plumbing issue. This is a sleep architecture issue, and it deserves a real conversation with your doctor. Reason 3, chronic pain is a silent sleep thief. Think about the last time you had a really bad headache. Could you sleep comfortably? Probably not. Now imagine that feeling. But every night, in your knees, your hips, your lower back, your hands, chronic pain is one of the most underestimated causes of sleep disruption in older adults. Conditions like osteoarthritis, degenerative disc disease, neuropathy, or even persistent joint inflammation don't clock out at bedtime. In fact, many people report that pain feels worse at night, and there's a physiological reason for that. During the day, you're distracted, you're moving, you're engaged. The brain has competing signals to process. But at night, in a quiet room, lying still, pain signals become amplified. There's nothing else competing for your brain's attention. And here's the cruel twist. Poor sleep actually lowers your pain threshold, which means the worse you sleep, the more pain you feel, which makes sleep even harder. It's a cycle that feeds itself. If you're managing chronic pain and struggling with sleep, these two things need to be addressed together, not separately. Reason 4, sleep apnea, the thief that works while you're unconscious. This one is particularly important because so many people have absolutely no idea it's happening to them. Sleep apnea is a condition where your airway partially or fully collapses during sleep, causing your breathing to stop, sometimes for 10 seconds, sometimes for a full minute, before your brain triggers a micro-awakening to restart it. Now, micro-awakening sounds mild, but here's the reality. Some people with untreated sleep apnea experience 30, 40, even 60 of these events every single hour. They wake up in the morning feeling like they slept 8 hours, but their body never reached the deep restorative stages of sleep at all. They're exhausted, foggy, their heart is under strain, their blood pressure is elevated, and they have no idea why, because they didn't consciously wake up. Sleep apnea becomes more common with age, particularly as muscle tone decreases in the throat and airway. It's also significantly underdiagnosed in older adults, especially women, because the classic symptoms, loud snoring, gasping, don't always present the same way. If you or someone you love wakes up exhausted despite sleeping a full night, please ask your doctor about a sleep study. It could be life-changing. Reason 5, your medications may be working against you. By the time most people reach their mid-60s, they're managing 2, 3, sometimes 5 or more chronic conditions: blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, thyroid issues, heart health. And almost all of those conditions come with medications. Here's what your pharmacist may not have highlighted on the label. Many of the most commonly prescribed medications for older adults directly interfere with sleep. Beta blockers, used for heart conditions and blood pressure, can suppress melatonin production, the very hormone we talked about in Reason 1. They can also cause vivid, disturbing dreams. Diuretics, water pills, are often prescribed to be taken in the evening, which means they're actively pulling fluid through your kidneys right when you're trying to sleep. Hello, nocturia. Certain antidepressants, corticosteroids, and even some over-the-counter decongestants and pain relievers can cause nighttime alertness, restlessness, or suppress REM sleep. The important message here is not to stop your medications. Never do that without medical guidance. The message is, have the conversation. Ask your doctor, ask your pharmacist, say, I'm not sleeping well. Could any of my current medications be contributing to this? You might be surprised by the answer. Reason 6. The mind that won't quiet down. This is the one I see most often in my patients, and it's the one that breaks my heart a little, because it's so deeply human. At night, when the world goes quiet, the mind gets loud. During the day, there's distraction. There's routine, there's movement and conversation and tasks to complete. But at 2 a.m., lying in the dark, that's when the thoughts arrive. Did I take my medication? What if this pain means something serious? My child hasn't called in 2 weeks. How long will my retirement savings last? What happens if I can't take care of myself? These aren't irrational thoughts. They're real concerns held by real people navigating some of life's most significant transitions: retirement, loss of independence, grief, changing relationships, shifting identity. And the cruel irony is that anxiety and sleep deprivation feed each other. Poor sleep makes anxiety worse. Anxiety makes sleep worse. What I want you to know is this: anxiety in older adults is massively underdiagnosed and undertreated. If nighttime worry is regularly stealing your sleep, that is a medical issue worthy of professional attention, not something to push through alone. Reason 7, you're not moving enough during the day. This is the one nobody talks about. This is the concept that sleep scientists call sleep pressure, the biological drive to sleep that builds up the longer you've been awake and active. Think of it like a pressure gauge. Every hour you're awake and moving, the gauge climbs. By evening, it's high enough that your body is essentially demanding sleep. But here's what happens to that gauge when you're largely sedentary during the day. Sitting in a chair, watching television, resting between tasks, it barely moves. And then you lie down at night expecting sleep to come. But your body hasn't built up sufficient sleep pressure to drive deep, sustained sleep. After retirement, this is incredibly common. The natural rhythm of a working life, commuting, walking, being on your feet, moving from room to room, disappears. And nobody replaces it intentionally. I'm not saying you need to run a 5K. I'm saying a 20-minute walk in the morning can genuinely transform your sleep quality. The research on this is remarkably consistent. Movement is medicine. And for sleep, it might be the most underutilized prescription available. Reason 8, your internal clock has shifted. Your body runs on an internal timing system called the circadian rhythm, a roughly 24-hour biological clock that regulates when you feel sleepy, when you feel alert, when hormones are released, when your core body temperature rises and falls. As we age, this clock doesn't just slow down, it shifts forward. Older adults often begin to feel genuinely sleepy at 8 or 9 p.m. That's not a problem on its own. But here's what happens next. If your internal clock pushes bedtime to 8:30 p.m., your body may complete its primary sleep cycle by 2 or 3 a.m. and simply decide it's done, not because something is wrong, but because the clock says morning. This is known as advanced sleep phase syndrome, and it's far more common in older adults than most people realize. The frustrating part is that many people fight the early sleepiness, staying up until 11 p.m. to watch television or be social, and then still wake up at 3 a.m. because their internal clock doesn't care what time you went to bed. It woke you up on schedule anyway. Working with your circadian rhythm rather than against it can make a profound difference. Reason 9, sleep simply becomes lighter. Our final reason is perhaps the most fundamental, and it ties everything together. Sleep is not one thing. It's a sequence of stages, from light sleep to deep sleep to REM sleep, cycling through the night roughly every 90 minutes. What changes significantly with age is how much time you spend in each stage. Specifically, older adults spend far less time in slow-wave deep sleep, the most physically restorative stage, and correspondingly, more time in lighter sleep stages. And light sleep is fragile sleep, things that would have slept right through at 35, a car door outside, your partner's shifting position, a streetlight through the curtain, the furnace clicking on, can now wake you fully at 65. This is not a disease. It's a physiological shift. But understanding it matters because it changes how you approach sleep hygiene. Heavy curtains, a white noise machine, separate blankets if a partner's movement disturbs you, a cooler room temperature. Sleep quality drops significantly when a room is too warm. These aren't luxuries. For lighter sleepers, they're tools, real, actionable, compassionate. So there they are. 9 specific science-backed reasons why sleep becomes harder after 65. And I want to close with something important. None of this means you're broken. Your body is adapting. Your biology is shifting. And you are navigating some of the most complex terrain life offers. Changes in health, in identity, in relationships, in purpose. The fact that your sleep is suffering doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're human, and your body is responding to real changes. But here's what I need you to take away from this video. Poor sleep is not inevitable, it is not untreatable, and you do not have to simply accept it. Start with the small things: a consistent bedtime, morning sunlight, daily movement, reducing caffeine after noon, making your bedroom darker and cooler. These changes are free, they're accessible, and research consistently shows they work. And if sleep problems persist, if you're waking up night after night feeling exhausted, foggy, or emotionally depleted, please talk to a doctor, not for a prescription, for an evaluation. Because sometimes poor sleep is a symptom of something else entirely, and that something else deserves attention. You deserve rest, real, deep, restorative rest, and you deserve a doctor who takes that seriously. Now, I genuinely want to hear from you. Which of these 9 reasons surprised you the most? Or, if you've been struggling with sleep, which one do you think might actually apply to your situation? Tell me in the comments below. I read every single one, and I often use your questions to shape future videos, so your comment genuinely matters. If this video gave you even one useful insight, one thing you didn't know before, then do me a favor. Hit the like button. It takes 1 second, and it tells YouTube that this kind of content is worth sharing with more people who need it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe right now and turn on notifications. Every week, I release videos designed to help you understand your body, protect your health, and age with confidence and dignity. Because the more you understand about what's happening inside you, the more power you have to change it. I'll see you in the next one.
My father was 67 years old when he got the call from the doctor's office. He had gone in for a routine checkup. Nothing alarming, no serious symptoms. Just a little tiredness that he had been chalking up to getting older. He figured the doctor would tell him to drink more water, maybe cut back on red meat, and send him home. Instead, the doctor sat him down, folded his hands on the desk, and said 4 words that changed our entire family forever. You have colon cancer. Stage 3. My father, who had survived war, had built a business from nothing, had never spent a single night in a hospital in his life. He sat in that chair and looked like the floor had just disappeared beneath him. I was a second-year medical student at the time. I thought I knew about cancer. I had read about it in textbooks. I had seen the diagrams, memorized the staging systems, studied the survival rates. But nothing in my academic training had prepared me for what it felt like to watch the strongest person I had ever known suddenly look small. He fought hard. He went through surgery, through chemotherapy, through the nausea, the hair loss, the weight loss, the pain. He fought every single day, and we fought alongside him, my mother, my sisters, and me. He survived. By the grace of God and the extraordinary work of his oncology team, my father survived. But in those long months of treatment, I made a promise to myself. I said, if I ever become a doctor, and I was going to become a doctor, I would dedicate my work not just to treating the elderly, but to preventing cancer in elderly patients and everyone. That was over 30 years ago. Today, I am bringing in my friend and colleague, Dr. Ruben. He is a board-certified oncologist. Ruben has diagnosed thousands of patients, have sat across from terrified men and women and delivered news that no human being should ever have to deliver. He has held hands in hospital rooms and helped people navigate the most difficult times of their lives. And he is here today, on this channel, speaking directly to you. Because I believe with every fibre of my medical training and personal experience that most of the cancer's diagnosis could have been slowed down, delayed, or in many cases prevented entirely. Let's listen to him.
Thank you, Dr. Sarah, for this wonderful opportunity. My name is Dr. Ruben Whitaker. I'm an oncologist, and for over 3 decades, I've sat across from patients on some of the most difficult days of their lives. Days when they hear the words, "You have cancer." What I want to share with you today is this. A large percentage of those cases did not have to happen. Not with expensive drugs, not with surgery, not with prescriptions, but with daily habits. Today, I'm here to talk about how daily habits can significantly reduce the risk of cancer, especially for those over 60. Many people believe that cancer is simply a matter of bad luck, but studies show that a substantial percentage of cancers are preventable. Understanding how our bodies change as we age is important. As we grow older, our cells divide more frequently, and our immune system becomes less effective at identifying errors that can lead to cancer. However, adopting healthier daily habits can help mitigate this risk. It's not just about avoiding harmful substances, it's also about incorporating positive practices into your routine. I recommend focusing on these 7 key habits that I'm about to mention. Can help lower cancer risk. Each of these habits contributes to a healthier lifestyle and can enhance your overall well-being. If you're over 60 or have someone who is, implementing these daily habits can genuinely change the trajectory of your life. You have more control over your health than you might think. By making these small, consistent changes that I'm going to mention here, you can significantly reduce your risk of cancer and improve your quality of life. Now, let's dive into it right away. According to the World Health Organization, between 30 and 50% of cancers are preventable, not treatable. Preventable. As we age, our cells divide more, errors increase, and our immune system becomes less efficient at catching those errors. That's why cancer risk rises sharply after 60. But your daily habits influence both of those processes, how much damage occurs, and how well your body repairs it. You have more control than you think. Let me walk you through 7 habits I recommend to every patient. Habit number 1. Move your body every single day. If exercise were a drug, it would be the most powerful cancer prevention medication ever created. We're talking about up to 30–40% reduced risk of colon cancer and significant reductions in breast and other cancers. Why? Because movement lowers insulin levels, reduces inflammation, strengthens your immune system, and helps maintain a healthy weight, all of which directly impact cancer development. And no, you do not need to run marathons. You need consistency. A 30-minute walk daily is enough. You can split it into 10-minute sessions. You can walk in your home, outside, or even in a mall. The key is daily movement. I've seen patients transform their health with nothing more than a pair of walking shoes and commitment. Habit number 2. Transform your plate. What you eat is either helping your body fight cancer or helping cancer grow. Increase foods like cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cabbage, kale, berries, rich in antioxidants, legumes, beans and lentils for fiber, garlic and onions, natural immune boosters, green tea, powerful anti-inflammatory compounds, and reduce processed meats, classified as carcinogens, excess red meat, refined sugar, alcohol. This isn't about perfection, it's about direction. Start with one change, one meal, one ingredient, one habit, and build from there. Habit number 3. Prioritize sleep. Sleep is not rest. Sleep is repair. During sleep, your body produces melatonin, a hormone that helps suppress cancer cell growth. Your DNA repair systems activate during deep sleep. Your immune system resets. When you consistently sleep poorly, all of that protection is weakened. Aim for 7 to 9 hours. Keep your room dark. Avoid screens before bed. Maintain a consistent schedule. Sleep is one of the most overlooked cancer prevention tools we have. Habit number 4. Manage your stress. Chronic stress is not just emotional, it is biological. When stress becomes constant, cortisol remains elevated. This suppresses immune function, increases inflammation, and creates an environment where cancer can thrive. I've seen patients who did everything right, except manage stress, and it costs them. What works? Mindfulness. Just 10 minutes a day. Strong social connections, time in nature, a sense of purpose. Your body heals best in a state of calm, not chaos. Habit number 5. Hydrate and reduce toxins. As we age, our sense of thirst declines. Many older adults are chronically dehydrated without realizing it. Water helps flush toxins from your body, supports your kidneys, improves digestion, and reduces exposure time to carcinogens, especially in the bladder and colon. Aim for 8 to 10 cups per day. Also, if you smoke, stop. This is the most powerful step you can take. Limit alcohol. It is a known carcinogen. Test your home for radon exposure. Be mindful of chemicals in food, water, and plastics. Your body is constantly filtering toxins. Support that system. Habit number 6. Screen early and screen often. This is where prevention becomes reality. Many cancers, especially colon cancer, develop slowly over years. A colonoscopy doesn't just detect cancer, it prevents it by removing precancerous growths. Screenings to stay current with: colonoscopy, mammograms, pap smears, lung CT scans, if applicable, prostate screening, skin exams. The difference between early-stage and late-stage cancer is often the difference between life and death. Do not let fear stop you from being screened. Avoiding the test does not prevent cancer. It delays detection. Habit number 7. Strengthen your immune system. Your immune system is your body's built-in cancer defense. Right now, it is identifying and destroying abnormal cells before they become tumors. Support it. Check your vitamin D levels. Deficiency is extremely common and linked to higher cancer risk. Support your gut health. Your microbiome plays a critical role in immune function. Maintain a healthy weight. Excess body fat fuels inflammation and cancer growth. Know your family history. This helps guide screening and prevention strategies. Everything we've discussed ultimately supports one thing: your immune system's ability to protect you. Let me leave you with something personal. I've had patients sit in front of me and say, "I wish I had known." You know now, you cannot change the past, but you can change what you do tomorrow morning. You can take a walk, you can eat differently, you can go to bed earlier, you can schedule that screening. These are not small decisions, they are life-defining decisions. Your future health is built on what you do daily, not occasionally. So I'll ask you one simple thing: choose one habit. Start today. Because your life, your long, healthy, cancer-resistant life, is worth fighting for. Every single day. Now, here are the screenings that every adult over 60 should be current with. I am going to be direct and specific because this is not an area where vagueness serves you. Colorectal cancer screening, colonoscopy every 10 years, or stool-based testing annually. If you are over 60 and have never had a colonoscopy, please, I am asking you as a physician and as someone whose own family has lived this, make that appointment this week. Not someday, this week. Breast cancer screening, mammography annually for women 40 and older with discussion of risk factors. For women at higher risk due to family history or genetic factors, additional screening with breast MRI may be recommended. Cervical cancer screening, pap smear every 3 years or every 5 years with combined HPV testing for women aged 65 or younger who have not had prior high-grade findings. Lung cancer screening, annual low-dose CT scan is now recommended for adults aged 50 to 80 who have a 20-pack year smoking history and currently smoke or have quit within the past 15 years. If this describes you, please talk to your doctor today. Prostate cancer screening, PSA blood test, with the decision made in consultation with your doctor based on individual risk factors, family history, and preferences. The conversation about PSA screening is more nuanced than the others, but it is a conversation every man over 50 should be having with his physician. Skin cancer, annual full-body skin examination, either self-performed or with a dermatologist. Skin cancer is the most common cancer in the United States, and the vast majority of skin cancer deaths are from melanoma that was not caught early. If you have a changing mole, a new growth, or a sore that does not heal, do not wait. Do not hope it goes away. See a doctor. I want to speak for a moment to those of you who avoid screenings because you are afraid of what you might find. I understand that fear. It is a deeply human response. If I do not look, it is not there. But I want to gently, firmly, compassionately push back on that thinking. In oncology, we have a saying: The stage at which we find a cancer is almost everything. A stage 1 colon cancer has a 5-year survival rate of over 90%. A stage 4 colon cancer has a 5-year survival rate of approximately 14%. The cancer is the same cancer. What is different, what makes all the difference in the world, is when it was found. Your fear of finding something is understandable, but your screening appointment is the very thing that gives you the power to catch cancer while it is still beatable. Avoiding that appointment does not protect you from cancer. It protects cancer from you.
If this video gave you something real today, I want you to do 3 things. First, subscribe to this channel for weekly medically grounded content for people over 60. This is not about fear, it's about empowerment. Second, share this video with someone who has faced health issues brushed off as just age. The right information can change lives. Lastly, leave a comment about what surprised you or what you'll try first. This is a community of honesty and compassion, and I'm glad you're here. Take care of your body. It's worth it. Bye for now.